On Saturday, October 18th, Missouri State University students, faculty, and alumni gathered in the West Mall near the stadium to participate in the school's homecoming tailgate activities. Some students chose Bearfest Village's tailgating activities as a place of protest to bring attention to the Black lives that have been lost to police brutality and the racism the demonstrators say Black students on Missouri State's campus experience on a daily basis. They named the protest Homecoming Blackout. The demonstrators marched onto the campus, making their first stop at the North Mall. A number of the demonstrators wore masks and dressed in all black. They displayed their signs that read messages such as Black Lives Matter and Hands Up, Don't Shoot. The demonstrators then walked in pairs throughout the tailgate area, completely silent aside from a few people who were given the authority to speak in order to help navigate the group. One student expressed his immediate reaction seeing the student demonstrators as they walked through the Bearfest Village. When did you initially see the protesters come in?
About 10 seconds ago.
Okay, and what was your initial reaction to the protest?
I was wondering what was with the masks, but then I got, probably something about the anonymity of, most victims being shot.
For over 10 minutes, the demonstrators were stationary in the middle of the tailgating area, standing atop of the school Bearhead logo. A number of the demonstrators laid down to represent the dead bodies of the Black men and women who were killed by police officers. A few tailgate goers witnessed this part of the demonstration and gave their opinions on its effect.
Everyone in Ferguson is demonstrating and protesting for is correct. I don't think that anything that happened was morally right at all whatsoever, but I also think that it's been taken a little too far. This is fine. This is 100% fine. If they did something like this in St. Louis and in Ferguson, I think that would honestly get people's attention. They would walk by, they would see that. This is an artistic view of what's happening.
What were your initial reactions of the protests when you saw it?
This protest?
Yes.
It's very powerful, and I think this is a good place to do it.
Yeah, I assumed that it was for Ferguson, and that was what I said to Kathleen, was that this is the right place to do it since there are going to be so many people here to kind of see them. And even if I think the fact that it's silent makes it more powerful, but it'll just kind of keep it in people's heads that what's going on in Ferguson is still happening, even though a lot of people aren't talking about it as much anymore.
All right, so what was your initial reaction when you saw the demonstration, and when did you first see it?
When I first seen it, I looked at it on Instagram. I seen everything going on Instagram, and then I came out here to look at everything, and I seen them walking around. So, and I just feel like they got a lot of respect. They're gonna get their point across, and that's what I think should be done.
I feel like if you're wanting to make a difference, you should do this. You should go to a school. You should, go get a job and go get a job and work yourself up to the top and go write letters to a governor or something to where it's going to be make an impact instead of just standing just standing outside and either raiding or yelling or putting your hands up. I mean, I get the whole what they're saying, but honestly I feel like if you're just going to stand outside all day, people are just going to look at you and be like, what are you doing?
See you guys out here, it's big. To be 400 miles away from St. Louis and see people standing up for what's really going on there. No one really knows what's going on there unless you're there. You know what I'm saying? If you drive through Ferguson, sometimes it's like a ghost town because protests are at the police station. They're trying to get their voices heard because no one's listening. Everyone has their sights on what happened, but at the end of the day, we lost a young Black guy. You know what I'm saying? And we have too many young black men dying. It's like you get older to die. That's how they feel, and they shouldn't feel like that. They should never feel like they should be held back because they're Black. At the end of the day, we're all people. We breathe the same air, we drink the same water, but there will always be I guess, I don't want to say white people, but Black people always be looked down upon. I hate that.
After the tailgate, a number of the demonstrators continued their demonstration inside of Plaster Stadium during the football game. Before going in, a number of the demonstrators changed their clothes and hid their signs because they feared that they would not be let in. For the duration of halftime at the homecoming game, the demonstrators stood holding their signs in silence as the homecoming court was introduced and the king and queen were crowned. After halftime, the majority of the demonstrators left. Following the silent protests, some of the students that were a part of the demonstration reflected on their experiences and expressed what this means for them going forward as members of the university.
Tailgaters were drinking and they were ignorant. They were saying a lot of harsh things, and to each and every one of us.
Well, it showed like how many students really don't care. When we were lining up and we were holding our posters up, they were saying slick comments about go back to St. Louis. This is not Ferguson. This is Springfield. This is Missouri State. Get off our campus. But at the same time, this is our campus too. We go here. We sleep in the dorms. We eat here. We go to class here. So it's kind of, that was kind of hard for me to hear. The people on Missouri State campus do not care about how we feel.
Days before the demonstration, Missouri State's Dean of Students was worried about the tailgaters' reactions toward the demonstrators.
I think the reactions that I've heard are somewhat telling. People upset that the protesters would come to Bearfest Village, of all places. And it's like, when is a good time to protest? And where is a good time to protest? Where would we be heard? I know it was intentional, and I understand now that was the place. And for people to react as you're ruining our fun, which I think I haven't heard that, but I've heard it in different ways. This is a campus, a colleague said to me yesterday, this campus is for everyone. It's not just for those who come to Bearfest Village preparing to go to the football game, nor is it just for students who come and have no intention of going to the football game, but just getting drunk and then going off and doing whatever they do. It's also a campus for those who feel passionately about something and want people to hear what people don't want to hear, but what is reality.
The night before the tailgate, the demonstrators met to place chalking on the sidewalks in the tailgate area with messages similar to those shown on their signs. The chalking was later washed off the morning of the tailgate by the grounds crew after they were instructed to do so by Missouri State Director of Athletics, Kyle Motes.
We're out there till 1 to 4 a.m., voicing our opinions and trying to get the students and faculty members and administration just to make sure like they seen what we wrote, just to make sure that our voices were heard.
A friend had called me and she said, did you know that the chalk had been erased? And I feel like I just shot out my bed because I was so shocked and appalled, and I just was in I was froze almost. Statements were hashtag don't shoot, hashtag Ferguson. We wrote quotes such as I too am America. We wrote quotes like injustice everywhere is justice nowhere.
The contractor that we work with for events, athletic events, came to campus, saw the chalking, reported it to athletics, and it was athletics that authorized the chalking to be power washed.
Many members of the community say they hope the demonstration makes a difference for the climate on their campus and ultimately has a positive impact on their community.
I feel like we wanted it to raise awareness and to show that it's not just in St. Louis, it's not just Ferguson, it's more than that.
My initial reaction was of being moved because I was happy that something was happening in Springfield for this specific issue.
What I saw was a very organized demonstration, which I applaud. This wasn't hey, let's demonstrate, let's everybody just show up. There was a lot of preparation, for being silent, not reacting, not even stopping when the path was blocked and waiting for it to open before proceeding. And that impressed me personally.
It will have a positive impact. I think that all the social media action is really important and something that should be signal boosted at in the slightest.
It's really kind of hard to say that this had an impact when while you are there people are still calling you the N-word.
The demonstrators say Homecoming Blackout is the first of many events on racial issues. Speak Up and Blackout Part 2 are planned for the first week of November. In Springfield, I'm Christina Gardner, reporting for the Black Bear.